Welcome along, people, to another one of my little videos. Continuing on the service from last week's video, I'm going to do a few more bits and pieces today. But before I start, I thought I would take an opportunity to say, Chris Scanlon, take note. Thanks really to everyone who's given me thumbs up, everybody who's given me thumbs down. Thanks to them as well. Everybody who's subscribed. Right, speaking about subscribers, when I first started this channel about 3 months ago, I got completely serious about doing video blogging. I bought a computer and I started doing my editing. I bought lighting and all that sort of stuff. I set myself a target 3 months ago that by the end of 2021 I would have, hopefully, crossy fingers, I would have 200 subscribers. Well, I've now gone past 200 subscribers, so thanks ever so much. As of today, I have 211, and it's not to make me feel better about myself, but if I'm going to stand in my garage, buy equipment, and if I'm going to try and get better at the whole video blogging thing, then it's just nice to know that my efforts of standing in my garage all by myself, that it's not in vain. So my content thus far has been limited, I guess, because we're all been limited on what we can do, where we can go and who we can see. But hopefully the channel should start to get a little bit more interesting, so please stick with me. I'm not a mechanic, as you can probably tell, and you're definitely going to tell that today. Thank you, a huge thank you, and I did mention him briefly a moment ago. Thanks ever so much to Chris Scanlon. He is definitely 101% my top subscriber. He makes a comment each time I make a video, and it's because of Chris I'm now wearing the correct safety gloves. So thanks, people. And without people subscribing and making comments and viewing what I do on my little channel, there wouldn't be much point really. So here we go. First things first, I'm taking the saddle off, because I'm going to remove the air filter and service the air filter today. Air filter lives in here. Ooh. Gently take off the side panel. And if I forget to mention, if you haven't got a pot of this in your garage, and believe me, when I was told about red rubber grease, I thought, oh, is this like the glass hammer thing or the left-handed monkey wrench? No, there is actually such a thing called red rubber grease, and if you've got any rubber components on your bike, put red rubber grease on it. Put red rubber grease on it. Put red rubber grease on it. Hopefully my hand's not in the way too much. This hand here is round the back, because if I don't do that, the nut will fall away and I'll lose my nut. And no one likes to see me lose my nut. Yay! Okay, so next is the electrical block, which is the fuel tank. That's all your power supply to the fuel pump, etc. The vent tubes, you shouldn't put a clamp onto it, but I'm going to put a clamp onto it because I've got a dodgy thumb. But you will get a little bit of fuel like that, okay? And this is why Chris Scanlon was telling me to put on some sort of glove on my hand to protect my hands while I'm doing stuff like this. And of course, he is correct. There we go, see, a little dribble of fuel. Nothing left to do now, hopefully, except lift the fuel tank off. And I have a blanket prepared inside in the garage. There is my air filter. There's quite a bit of debris. Obviously it's not a standard air filter, standard in shape, but that's it. Yeah, a little bit of grit in there, not a lot. So my next job is wash this and yeah, show you how you do that. I have in the past shown a few people who own 1150s this, and they didn't even know this existed. So hopefully you can see where my hand is. There's a drain underneath your airbox. There you go, you can see the oil on the plug, on the drain plug. See, Chris? I've got my gloves on. So that's the bottom of your airbox. You can't get to that from the top. You have to take that drain plug out from the bottom. And that, as I understand it, is if the engine is over full of oil, the crankcase blows the oil into the bottom of your airbox. And it's good occasionally to allow that to drain out of your airbox. I've actually just put the oil catcher underneath the bike so it's not just dripping onto the ground. So here we have the air filter. As I said earlier, this is a K&N air filter, and I've had this in my bike for about 7 years, and it's still good. Saves you buying a brand new air filter every time, except you do have to service it. Anyhow, first things first, let's clean it. In she goes. So I'm just going to give that a little bit of a treatment. Nothing to do but leave it sit, let it work its way in. You won't get it all particularly. So before I put the air filter back in, I'm going to spray it with the air filter oil. And as you can see from my fingers, the oil is pink. That's what makes the filter pink. So where the oil filter is going to go is all nice and clean. And if anybody can explain to me an easy or quick way to get the top of the air filter housing back on, or explain to me why it's such a faff, I'd really appreciate it, because I've had two of these bikes, and for the life of me, there's a little slot. It should just go straight into the slot, but it won't go. Okay, that was putting up a little bit of a fight, so I've got the electrical connection back in place. Just going to route the vents. They're supposed to go around the back. Connect them back up. 1, 2. Bolt with copper slip on it. Ooh, really get it in first time. Absolutely. As I mentioned before, when it comes to putting the fuel quick connectors back together, on the tip of my finger, it's not jam, it's red rubber grease. You don't need a lot of it, but it just helps connector just snap back in together. As easy as that. And now for number 2. I'm also going to put some red rubber grease on the little locating pegs, or lugs, luggy wuggies, or whatever you like to call them, on the side panel, because I don't know if you can notice just here there's a little split, and those, I've just put red rubber grease on them as well. It does keep them moist. Ooh, it helps it go back on nicely, and also when you come to take it back off, you won't get that split. Right, nothing left to do now except put the saddle back on. Last but not least, the little vent I took out of the bottom of the airbox. And that's that. Well, that's it for another video. Thanks ever so much for watching. Hopefully you found some of that of interest, and if you've made it this far, well done. Thanks for watching. Thanks for all your thumbs up. Thanks for even for your thumbs down. Bless you. Please leave a comment in the comment section below. And until next time, take care.